it can be started, anywhere. Okay. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. I think the last topic that we were discussing was vanity. That is, anyone recalls that?
Yes.
Okay. Vanity, is a disease that, like all spiritual diseases, leading to spiritual bankruptcy. A person who displays vanity risks losing blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah likes the one who are humble, who show humility, not arrogance, not pride, not haughtiness. A man originates from dust. And he ends in dust. What is that to be proud of? Where does man come from? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Qutra al-insanu ma akfara. He'll be the man who rejects. Min ayyi shay'in khalaq. From what he has been created. A drop of semen, that's all it is. Where does he end? In the grave. So there's nothing to be displaying one's vanity. Quran repeatedly has alluded to the humble origin of man. His helplessness in the womb of his mother, at time of his own birth and after birth, unable to do anything, nurtured by his mother, unable to control his own system, protected by autonomic system that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put in him. The brief interval of his life between that beginning and that ultimate death, a span of 50 years, 60 years, 80 years, whatever it is, that life is struggling, is prone to disease and discomfort. He is dominated by desires, driven by delusions, and finally demolished by death, resulting in dust. Nothing remains. One has to contemplate this to get rid of vanity. A person who wants to get rid of vanity should, in the beginning, every morning and every night at least, think about his origin and think about his end. Both. An unknown period in between that he is living, he is present. What it holds for him tomorrow, day after, or whether he would see tomorrow or the day after, or not. Sometimes vanity creeps due to a blessing that we have, and that's the last point that we were discussing last week, because of some blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Maybe someone has exceptional good memory. They say it's photogenic, photographic memory. Once I see it, I remember it. Once I look at it, it's ingrained. Once I hear it, I don't forget. Well, that sharp memory, is it yours? It's a blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Instead of being vain, one should be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for providing him with an exceptional caliber. Similarly, physical strength if one has, muscular body if he has. If he has some talents that others don't have, something that makes him unique, where does it come from? Is it of his making? It comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The more a person acknowledges that what he has is from the Creator, the more exponentially that talent is multiplied. Always remember that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if you are thankful, I'll increase. Isn't it? And that's how it's increased. And that increase knows no bounds. Because the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like himself, knows no bound. The human being is like a lamb. It will be barren, it will be fertile. To turn a land that's barren into fertile, you sometimes change the topsoil, sometimes you have to dig further. Composting may help, but eventually you have to get rid of the weeds, the stones, and whatever rocks you have there. Vanity is one of the biggest rocks. That has to be removed. Before that land could be suitable for irrigation and finally able to produce the crop that you want. Remember, the crop that one wants, a believer wants, is nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is nothing else, believe me, that matters. There is nothing else that holds good. There is nothing else that's worthwhile. The only crop that you want from that land is closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have seen the prophets and Imam who were the best of beings, isn't it? And no one equals them in greatness, in knowledge, in piety, in goodness and virtue. Has any of them ever shown any sign of vanity? Absolutely not. Sometimes vanity may be because of one's acts of worship. Oh, I have prayed so much. I was up the whole night praying. I fasted the whole month of Ramadan, plus last weeks of Shaban, plus Rajab, and I prayed all the Nawafil. Well, any act of worship that makes you proud actually demolishes that act of worship. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not need your worship. He never did. For that matter, He doesn't need the worship of anyone. Neither the angels nor the prophets. If you think that we have done that, I will show that has been accepted. I have said that many times in this class, that a virtue becomes virtue only when it's accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What criteria do I have of knowing that has been accepted? Did we get an email from him? Was a text message there? No. So, by the way, his message does come, but doesn't need your iPhone. It descends on your heart, and you will feel the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every good action, every virtue, good deeds, the patience that you show, the forbearance that you have, remember it's virtue only when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts it. And one of the conditions of that acceptance is being devoid of vanity.